Dan Levy joined me earlier. I heard that you are going to be judging the first ever Etsy Design Awards. How did you get involved with that?
Well, I was asked and happily said yes as a fan of Etsy. So, yeah, it's an amazing. It's their first ever awards, and if you've ever been on Etsy, you might understand how it can lead to hours and hours and hours of online shopping.
Yes, I am aware of getting trapped by Etsy.
Yes. Yeah. So it's for me, I think what's beautiful about Etsy is that it really is like it's artist directly to consumer. And to celebrate these artists that are doing such amazing work was a success story that I wanted to be a part of. So I said absolutely, and I think I'm sort of the black sheep of the judging panel because everyone has like design experience or like knows what they're talking about, and I think I'm sort of coming at this very much as just a fan and someone who might or might not have a bit of a shopping habit. Mm-hmm. But I've also used Etsy in acquiring fashion for my show.
Yes.
So I guess I have some sort of level of expertise.
Yes, I think you might be underselling yourself a little bit because, for those of us that have watched, Schitt's Creek, style is a huge part of its own. It's almost its own character within the show. So, how much?
Oh, absolutely.
How much of what we see on the show have you actually sourced online?
Well, collectively, a lot of it. And I think for me, what's great about Etsy is you're able to find one-of-a-kind pieces that that you cannot find anywhere else. And to me, in terms of just defining characters and really, using wardrobe to bring out the best of these characters, and oftentimes using wardrobe to bring out the funniest elements of these characters, going to Etsy and trying to find, one-of-a-kind headpieces or accessories, statement jewelry for Catherine and Annie. That's been a really sort of amazing way of authenticating the costuming. Yes, you can go to sort of designers, but at the same time, too, like anyone's wardrobe, you need those pieces that are personalized. And we obviously don't have a huge budget, so you have to really sort of go at it guerrilla style. And there are so many incredible artists out there who are doing such amazing work in the areas of fashion on Etsy that, are selling direct to consumer, so those prices are not inflated by big business. It's a wonderful way to work and has really sort of serviced our show in a pretty formative way.
So as a judge now for the Etsy Awards, what do you look for in the craftspeople and their creations that kind of make them stand out from the crowd?
Well, I think the great sort of, first of all, I've never been a judge on any sort of panel, so I'm really reveling in this experience.
Yeah.
But to me, I think it's really about, are you doing something that I've never seen before? Are you executing that thing, as best as you possibly could? Are you saying something that hasn't been said? So finding those artists that are really finding and creating a niche for themselves, that is what I'm prioritizing above and beyond anything else. And it's a really tough thing to do because the world of Etsy, which, I had only known as, for sort of fashion and some interior decor and accessories, there is so much more out there. So part of this experience has sort of opened my eyes to just the breadth of artistry that's out there and what it's, the sort of scope of what people are contributing. So it's been quite remarkable, and I'm not going to lie, very, very, very hard.
Yeah, yes, definitely narrowing it down. I think I saw like a sink. I saw a sink made out of wood. It was like the most amazing, unique thing I've ever seen.
You can find anything you want on there. It is wild.
So as a judge, we've narrowed it down. So the group of finalists has kind of been narrowed down. There were 23 Canadians that made it into the finals. Do you feel a little bit biased towards the Canadian finalists, being a Canadian yourself?
I can't say one way or another, but I will say that I love my fellow Canadians and always want them to succeed.
Can you tell us about some of the items made by the Canadian finalists? Kind of paint a picture of some of the things that you've seen?
I mean, it runs the gamut between fashion and design, furniture, jewelry, and, you know, I think when you're dealing with this short list, you're really dealing with people who have shown that they are masters at what they do. And it's going to be a very tough race because, you know, how do you go about comparing a dress to a wooden sink? It is the strangest sort of cross-section of things to sort of narrow down. But I think in the process, even the short list is shining an amazing spotlight on these artists. And, you know, for a lot of people who are very new to Etsy, I think it's going to be like a really great entry point where they're going to get to see artists who have amazing sort of personal stories, people who have quit their jobs to pursue their passion. And that, I think, is what I love about the Etsy experience, is that you really get a personalized approach to what you're buying, and you're also getting to really understand how and why things are made. I think a lot of the work on Etsy is really sort of focused on like ethics and how things are made, where things are sourced, and that is a really sort of necessary part of the conversation now. And I think, you know, is something that I'm really happy to sort of shed a light on as well, in terms of just showing people that you don't necessarily have to buy big business furniture. There is a world out there of people who are doing incredible work that needs to be seen and ultimately bought and supported.
That's wonderful. So I have time for one more question. Now, I know with the Etsy Award, the big $15,000 grand prize is going to be awarded in September, but also in September, you are going to be receiving a really big award from GLAAD. It's the Davidson Valentini Award, which is given to an openly LGBTQ plus individual who has made a significant difference in promoting equal rights for your community. Now, how does it feel to be the recipient of that award?
I have to tell you, this past year has been the most incredible, heartwarming year of my life. To receive this award came as a huge surprise, you know, mainly because, you know, when you're making something, you don't necessarily understand how far-reaching what you do is, or how much it's affecting people. I've received letters over the course of the show from people who have sort of written in, a lot of members of the LGBTQ community who have written in to say that my relationship with my boyfriend on the show has changed the conversation in their own homes. It's changed sort of how their parents have viewed queer people, and you know, to be part of those kinds of conversations, to be part of a positive change, to be part of a conversation where people are understanding that everyone is deserving of love. I mean, that is something that at the end of the day is what I'm most proud of. So to be recognized for that by GLAAD has been, I mean, it's quite overwhelming, actually.
Yeah.
So many people who have received this award before me have been people that I have long admired. So, yeah, I mean, it took me by surprise, and now it's just about figuring out what I have to say when I get there. I think to have the GLAAD Award come off of the Emmy nominations for the show, I mean, you know, this is something that doesn't happen very often to Canadian television. And to be, again, part of something that is opening doors for more Canadian TV to sort of walk through is a wonderful thing. And yeah, we're just thrilled.
Well, thank you so much for making some time in your day to talk to us. Good luck at the Emmys next month. Congratulations on your GLAAD award. And I love the fact that you're participating in the Etsy Awards as well. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you, you too.